Alright, it is story time with Amanda, and I'm going to say my top 5 things that I learned in my tech class. So my first one is how to make a Weebly page. So for this class, we were supposed to make a Weebly page about everything that we were learning during the class. And I found this to be very helpful because I was able to document everything that I was learning throughout the class, and I didn't forget everything that I was learning. And through this, it's also a great way to get out all of the information to other people who need the information. And right here I just drew what my Weebly page looked like, and it has the home, about me, blogs, and portfolio. So I was able to make a blog each week about what we were learning that week, and then a portfolio which was a little more in-depth about what we were going over, and I found that to be really useful. And in the classroom, I wouldn't necessarily use it for students, but I would be able to make a Weebly page, and then I could share it with parents. They would be able to see what their students are working on. I could make a blog about what we were doing each week. And that is how to make a Weebly page. Next, I did personalized learning. So for personalized learning, it is a technique of learning and teaching that the teacher is able to move their teaching towards how each student learns. So in my pictures, I did 2 different students, and this student right here is learns on hands. So they have little blocks that they could be using to learn addition. And then over here is another student who is learning with the teacher, and the teacher's teaching on the board, showing how to do addition. And in personalized learning, I could just move each of my curriculum towards each learner depending on how they learn. Alright, number 3 is the flipped classroom. So in a flipped classroom, the teacher has different ways of teaching. So prior to class that week, they teach, and then they teach in class, and then there's follow-up. And then just in this picture, it just shows how it would benefit each student and how it would benefit the teacher. And as a teacher, I would not do a full flipped classroom. I think there would be some subjects that I would do flipped. So a science experiment, I could have a video prior to class teaching them how to do the science experiment, and then they could come into class and do it, and then there would be follow-up questions. And then the 4th one is collaboration. Prior to class, I knew that collaboration was important, but I didn't realize how important. So in this picture, it shows what we did in class, how we did us, and then we were collaborating with the Cambodian students. And I just showed how important it is because you get knowledge from other students that otherwise you might not. I would use that in my classroom. I'd have students collaborating a lot because it really gives another outlook from other students, and it can be really helpful to a student because you'll get information that otherwise you wouldn't have. And my final one was online learning. Prior to this, I didn't really know how effective online learning could be. I get really distracted when I'm online, but I learned that online learning can be really useful, especially if a student can't come to class. So in this, it's showing that the teacher can be anywhere, and they're videotaping and they're podcasting what they're doing, and then the students can be learning wherever they are, and they can learn with their online tools, and that can be really effective for many reasons, whether or not the teacher can come or if the student can't come. And then to use online learning in the classroom, I would use it if a student were sick and they couldn't come to class. I'd be able to bring them in with Google Hangouts. I could have them then listen to the lecture, or I would just be able to videotape my lecture and put it online, and then they would be able to watch it, and that would be how I would use online learning. And those are my top 5.